All right, thank you so much for joining this lecture again. And we have already talked about some major functions of management. We have already studied about planning, its types, and its process. After that, we did the different the concepts regarding management by objectives, MBO given by Peter F. Drucker, and then we studied about decision making and how the decisions are taken. The different four major techniques were there, which tells you how the best decisions can be taken regarding the complete organization or structure. Now only few points are left. After that, we shall be going for staffing, and last is delegation of authority. From staffing and delegation, probability is very low, so that's why we have covered all the necessary topics which are there. Otherwise, all the detailed notes have already been given to you, and these shall be delivered to you in case you have not received this after this lecture. Okay, and we shall club these two lectures into one lecture, and we shall deliver you as soon as possible. So I'm just going to share the screen and continue the lecture from where we left. Okay. So uh, this is going to be about decision making. Okay, decision making we have already understood. I taught you that to make a decision is management. Okay, you have to take a decision from your different alternatives. For performing a specific task, you can have four or more than four alternatives. When you pick one alternative, this is known as decision making, and we did the techniques for that. I taught you about brainstorming, then nominal group technique, in which written options for solving any problem regarding corporation are done. After that, we did about Delphi technique. I taught you about consensus method as well. Now there are two famous models for decision making. Okay, there are two models for decision making. The first is economic man model, then administrative man model. Okay, why I'm going to teach you, the only reason is that I have experienced two times in the previous papers the question regarding the model for decision making has been given. Only two or three lines are there which are necessary, which can make the differentiate between these two models, and I hope these shall be very easy for you to comprehend. And even it is not the case, you can remind, you can just keep these lines in your mind. This is the first, this is economic man model. This has not been given by any specific author, and this comes under the classical approach, and it says that there is always situations of certainty. Okay, before reading this slide, I am going to tell you this line. This is very important. And this says that complete awareness of values and outcomes of all alternatives. This specific model assumes that whatever the alternatives you have, okay, you have the complete knowledge and values for these. And you know that what shall happen if you choose a C option, what shall happen if you choose A option, what shall happen in future if you choose D as a decision. Okay, so this is about economic man model. This says that you know all the values and outcomes of all the alternatives. Now I move here. So this is why it is said that decision is always rational in economic man model. Okay, economic man can order his preferences according to hierarchy of values to maximize some desired value. This line you have to remind. Economic man model always try to maximize his desired value. Okay, so this is normative theory. Okay, and it always tells what a manager should do. Okay, what a manager should do. So three lines are important to be remembered in economic man model. The first is you have all the knowledge and values of alternatives. The second line is the decision is completely rational and you try to maximize your desired value. And the last line is you in this specific model you get to know what you should do in specific situation. Okay, so this is about economic man model of decision making. The next is known as administrative man model. This was given by Herbert Simon, and this is a descriptive model. This was normative model, economic man model, but administrative is a descriptive model. And what it aims as at satisfying some desired value rather than minimizing. So what is the difference in this? In economic man model, the man tries to maximize his desired value, but in case of an administrative man model, he tries to satisfy some value only. Do not try to maximize the value. And in this, no determination or awareness of all alternatives. This is the next difference. You can never know what shall happen if you choose C as your particular decision. What shall happen if you choose A as your alternative? What shall happen if you choose D as your alternative? You never know about the future. And this model states what manager actually does. Okay, so this is about administrative man model. So in case of economic man model, there is what manager should do. But in case of administrative model, this states what a manager actually does. So these were the two models for decision making. So now we have to move further to the next management function, and this is staffing. The only thing that is important in staffing is the process of staffing. Otherwise, you all know what is staffing, and I have taught you in a very descriptive manner when I taught you the first lecture regarding management. So what is staffing? Staffing simply means selection and training of individuals for specific job. When you have started your business, you know that if in the coming days you cannot handle your business all alone, you have to hire the people. You have to hire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or n number of people, and hiring process for these, you have to give training to them, you have to recruit them, you have to select them, you have to train them, and all this process is known as staffing. Staffing simply means hiring successfully to your staff. So the process of staffing is very important. You have to remember all the points given in the staffing process. The first is, first of all, you have to estimate your manpower requirement. You have started a new business of a footwear shop, and you decide how many person should be hired. Should I hire 2? Should I hire 3? Should I hire 4? Should I hire 5 employees? This is known as estimation of a manpower requirement. So this is the first step. Second is recruitment. Recruitment simply means it simply means accepting requests from large number of candidates. Accepting requests. Okay, you create a pool of candidates. If you are going to select only 5 candidates, then you create a pool of more than 50 or 100, these many candidates. Okay, and this process of pooling the candidates is known as a recruitment. And from this pool, you select the persons who match to best of your requirement, and this is known as a selection. And after you have selected them, you have to place them on the job, and you have to orient them. Orient means making the new man familiar with the already hired persons or employees. You just make him familiar with the previous employees. This is known as orientation. And then there is training and development. You have to train him, you have to develop him so that he can perform the job very carefully. So these were the steps for the process of a selection, and these are important. You have to understand. Okay, so first of all, you estimate your manpower requirement. After that, you create a pool of candidates. After that, you select the best candidates. After that, you place them and you orient them, and finally you train them, and they became your successful employees. Now this is delegation. Delegation is the last function, because the last one is the controlling, but this is not that much difficult to go through. Okay, delegation has specifically been given in our syllabus. Delegation simply means uh, assigning to employees responsibilities responsibilities or work. You have to assign your employees the responsibilities and work. This is known as delegation. When you give work to employees, this is known as delegation. Okay, this is known as delegation. There are some terminologies which we have to understand in process of delegation. The first is delegation of authority, is process of entrusting responsibility and authority. Okay, and creating accountability of a person to whom work or responsibility has been handed over. I am going to break this complete line into some few phrases so that it becomes easy for you to understand. Delegation of authority is a process of entrusting. Entrusting means giving. Process of giving a responsibility and authority and creating accountability to person to whom the responsibility has been handed over. Okay, so there are three important terms: the responsibility, the authority, the accountability. You have to understand these three. You have to differentiate between these three. The first is responsibility. This is simply the obligation of the worker to properly perform the assigned duty. This is known as responsibility. Responsibility is the obligation to perform duty. Okay, what is authority? This means the power to take decision. Okay, decision to use the resources, to do something or not to do something. This is power to take decision. So responsibility is obligation, but authority is power. Finally, accountability. This simply means answerability. Answerability of the employee towards you. He is answerable to you. So this is known as accountability. Answerability of the subordinate to his superior for his work performance. So three items were involved in this. Although some description is written, complete notes are there in which everything is written, but these are also very short. I think one or two reading would suffice. The last is process of delegation of authority, how the authority is delivered, how delegation of work is made in the organization. The first is you assign the responsibility, you give them authority, you fix their accountability. These are the only three steps which are necessary for delegation of authority. So this was all about, I think, in this lecture. I taught you in a very detailed manner regarding each and everything of management functions and all the data related to all these three things. Okay, so this was all about that specific topic. The recorded version shall be given to you, and I suggest you to go through from one or two readings. Today we had to take 3 lectures for completing our complete data. So regarding tomorrow's lecture, it shall be intimated to you via WhatsApp. So I hope you all are very regular, and I shall get the positive results from you. Thank you so much for joining this lecture. This was Gurpal Singh from Gusar Education.